Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL India Premiership 2018. Summer Seasons is Master League going on, and right now we just got done in a short while ago with the Counter-Strike Global Offensive game of today between ATE and Malhar. And now let's quickly head off into the final game for the day, which is Dota 2. But before we actually head off, huge shout out to our sponsors, owned by HP, HyperX and Intel. And of course, all of this has been proudly presented to you by Northern Gaming and ESL. For those who are still wondering who this guy is, my name is Wagish Gotslebhan. I'm your host, and right now we have an ATE versus Council game in the offing when it comes to the 5v5 MOBA called Dota 2. So let's quickly take a look at both these teams and then head off, dive in headfirst into this game called Dota 2 itself.
Hello folks and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. You're watching the summer season phase 1. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki, and we got ATE Gaming on the Radiant versus the Council. ATE stood for something, but it's accuracy, teamwork, experience. They're quite flexible with what... Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're
I
quite...
thought it just that they're hungry.
Yeah, but they're kind of flexible with what the A stands for. I know that the A has changed over the years. They're an old organization that represented India internationally
Oh,
in CSGO tournaments, and they're the first to represent India internationally, and they had a fair amount of success back in the glory days of CS 1.6. Pangolier
interesting.
ban. Huh.
Yeah, Council looks like they don't want to have any of the Pangolia action.
Yep.
So, who's the offlane? Is that Khalnayak on the side of ATE?
Yeah, it is Khalnak. So Khalnak
Okay.
goes off lane. I think Rival goes safe lane, Blue Frog and Smoke, or Blue Frog. Blue Frog is a support. I know Rival is a core.
Mhm.
Zeus did play the offlane and the 4 position last year. I'm not sure what position he's going to be playing this time around.
Well, I think Smoke is the carry player, if I'm correct.
Okay, then maybe Rival goes mid.
Yeah, and all these are familiar names. I think I remember seeing them on Team Nirvana last year in the Premiership. Is that it? Or was that
Yeah,
Serene Chaos?
Team
Okay,
Nirvana.
it was Nirvana. Yep.
They
So it
also
looks like.
played U Cypher. Kalnak,
Oh yeah, they
Blue
played U-Cypher
Frog.
together.
Yeah, Kalnak, Blue Frog, and Rival were all in U Cypher.
Mhm. So we have Bangladesh versus India. Now, this has been an infamous matchup, Council. If I remember correctly, they did take a game off Signify in the last to last Premiership. Was that it, or was it the last Premiership?
It wasn't Signify, and it was the last Premiership.
Okay, I see. Wait,
Uh, i-
did Signify even exist back then? Wasn't it Entity Gaming and
no,
Entity Esports?
it was before Entity.
Oh, okay. I
Uh,
see.
there were
Interesting.
two teams
So
called Beyond Infinity and Invisible Wings.
now that the Shin has been banned, I'm curious to see if the council is going to pick up the Enchantress in the first phase. They do prioritize the Gyrocopter. They do realize the hero is very strong in the early game and the mid game. Although the only problem that I've often seen these lineups with Gyrocopter have is that their inability to convert tower, their ability to, their inability to convert hero kills into tower kills. Sorry for potatoing them mid sentence.
Hmm.
Sling stuff tongue always happens. So hope that council does something in order to remedy that
Right.
problem. Uh, we've seen TNC also sort of run into the same problem if anybody is keeping up at DAC or whatever tournaments you're watching, you'll see TNC, they often pick up this gyrocopter, but what ends up happening is that every single time they pick up the gyrocopter, they somewhat lack the ability to take towers, and then generally comes down to them wiping them and then being able to find a set of frags, going back for Roshan, then finding another set of frags with the Aegis. So it's not reliable push, but it is somewhat reliable team fight. Although with the clockwork now, this makes the gyrocopter's life significantly more difficult. Gyrocopter is somewhat bad against Clockwork because you can cog him in, and Clockwork likes to go for that blade mail. So Gyrocopter could be just writing his own tombstone when he uses that rocket barrage when he's caught up in the cogs. Also, the hookshot's really good at catching the Gyrocopter out. He's generally an elusive hero. It's a
Mm-hmm.
hard time to People have a hard time catching that hero just because of the amount of move speed he has with the phase, Sanj and Yasha, the drums. Also, the level 20 talent in case people go for it. I mean, that's the best talent I feel from his entire pool. Plus 50 movement speed. I mean, we've seen what plus 40 movement speed does on Shadow Fiend. It becomes a race car. So
Yeah.
Sand King picked up by Council, nothing too unusual. I do think this is going to be the offlane Sand King, which so surprisingly there is a new player in Council. Looks like they wait. Is there a new player on the side of the Council? I'm not sure. Jin and Len are brothers, but I don't see Len's name in the Council. Did he like change his name to something?
Yeah. So Len's gone to Malaysia to study, Malaysia, Singapore. So Council are
Oh,
playing without Len. They've got a new player.
okay, I see. So he's getting the better of Len.
And I mean, you haven't spotted out the other big change. It's usually Animal who does the draft. Uh,
Oh yeah, it's Jin doing the draft now.
yes. So couple of big changes for the council. Um,
Interesting Shadow Fiend ban there by Council. I'm surprised as to why they would ban that because they seem to have ways of dealing with the Gyro. Dealing with the Shadow Fiend and the SKN Gyro.
Clockwork Shadow Fiend, maybe.
Hmm. Yeah, certainly could be. Yeah, now that you pointed out, that makes a lot more sense because Gyrocopter doesn't have a lot of base damage, so a good Shadow Fiend will just completely destroy the Gyrocopter.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, I'm of the opinion that most mid laners can deal with the Gyrocopter mid. I don't know, I think, I feel that way, but yeah, if it's something
The
like a
problem
DK or a Storm, I think the Gyrocopter can do okay. Uh, but
The problem really is that Gyrocopter comes online much faster than most enemy mid laners, right? Shadow Fiend on level 6, sure, he can fight, but it's not going to be the best. Gyrocopter, as soon as you hit 6, you have your cooldown, you have your Rocket Barrage that deals a bad shit ton of damage. You just get one stun and the enemy mid laner is going to be falling. Doesn't matter if it's a Death Prophet, doesn't matter if it's
yeah,
Shadow Fiend. If they don't have a way of running away from you, 99% of the time you're going to get the kill. And that's really what Gyrocopter offers as a mid lane at this point. You get that level 6, you get those kills going. It's not necessarily about the first few minutes. The first few minutes are not bad, but they're not too great either. You just spam homing missile and tries to secure last hits.
hmm
80 Gaming, they are looking for the fifth ban here, and a little surprised to see the Brewmaster ban. Have Council run the Brewmaster previously? And if so, have they done it successfully?
I think they have. I mean, I remember Jin playing it once. Anything which has control groups, Jin loves to
Ah,
play that hero,
okay.
literally.
hmm I mean, Jin seems like the kid in school where everybody hates maths, but Jin just absolutely loves maths, and he all he does is maths
Yeah,
every day, all day long. Integration, derivation, whatever you ask him to, he'll be more than happy to finish your homework. For him, it's a sort of a plaything.
absolutely. Next ban for the council, they're gonna ban out DOD. Huh.
Okay,
I'm
I can get
also
behind this man.
not sure how the council are. I mean, who's playing what role? They're kind of flexible about their roles. They've experimented a lot in the past, and I think we might see them experiment this time as well.
Okay.
AT Gaming, they're going to pick up the Void. I'm pretty certain this is Kalnayak heading to the offlane with the Void. Um,
Uh, I guess it is, but I'm a little
not a
I'm a little
fan.
anxious for 80. I'm not a fan of that void pick. so early on because
Yeah,
it tells you a lot about ATE's draft. Now you
yeah.
know that they gonna have a Chronosphere, and now you have three picks to possibly deal with the Void. You already have the Sand King, which is a 2 second stun at level 1, so Void can't backtrack the damage that he takes during those before those 2 seconds. So
Hmm.
it's gonna have some trouble, and the Council they gonna pick up the signature Winter Lion. They really like this hero, don't they?
Uh, yeah, they do pick it up a fair bit for Animal. I was actually thinking that they'd pick up the other Animal hero, which is Disruptor, which I think is also really good uh, in the laning phase
Yep,
versus the Void, just because of Thunderstrike.
true.
It's really
Thunderstrike.
difficult to time walk that. So I thought they'd go for the Disruptor, but they're going to go with the Winter Wyvern instead. At the very least, this is going to stop AT from picking up too much physical damage, or be careful with the positioning in team fights when there's a physical DPS heavy core coming in these team fights. What do AT want to do with this Void, though, is the question. I
I
mean,
think they want to get some big ultimate heroes, probably something like Queen of Pain, maybe. They're gonna go with the Maresca, so it's gonna be so one of these three heroes is gonna be a core. It's either the Dark Willow, it's either the Clockwork, or the Rubik. If the Dark Willow is core and is going mid against the Gyro, that could actually make a lot of sense because Shadow Realm does it prevent rocket barrage damage or does it not?
it does.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah,
Yep.
so I mean that's a really good counter to Gyro then because then you're negating like 90% of his damage output. You get a rotation in from one of your supports and suddenly Gyrocopter has to tuck tail and run.
You're assuming it's a mid
It's a
gyrocopter,
mid
though.
willow. Yeah, I'm assuming it's a mid Gyrocopter and also a mid willow. This Gyrocopter is like usually likes to play. It doesn't necessarily want to be in the safe lane, but they could make it work. But Void is gonna be a hard kill when you have a Winter Wyvern and Sand King. You need two disables to reliably kill a Void or a Disruptor, which at the moment is not on the lineup of council.
Okay.
Sand King could go off lane against the Void, actually, in a 1v1. And yeah, just as I think of that, looks like they're going to pick up the Nature's Prophet. Now, I'm assuming this is a support Nature's Prophet, because support Nature's Prophet is really good at zoning out enemy. I mean, he just goes to any lane, just spawns treants over there and starts right-clicking you in the face, and suddenly there's nothing much you can do about it, well, because it's a bunch of treants, and there's also the Nature's Prophet who's right-clicking you, so how many units are you going to deal with it at once? Also, it seems like one of those heroes that Shin is fond of playing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too surprised if this is a support Yo Winter by one and Nature's Prophet. Although they do have very little lockdown on the side of Council, but that's okay for them. It doesn't matter as much. Queen of Pain banned by ATE Gaming. What ban do you think the Council go for?
Huh.
I mean, this Dark Willow has sort of thrown a curveball towards the Council because they don't know exactly if it's going to be a mid or if it's going to be offlane. I think this might be a carry void, although I wouldn't be entirely sure. Void as a carry is good against the Gyrocopter, right? Because you can just chrono him, hold him in place, bash him to death. There's nothing Gyro can do about that. Once you have the Mask of Madness BKB, you actually deal a lot of damage. And every single time chrono's up, you can sort of secure the Gyrocopter kill as long as you have enough heroes in the vicinity in order to make sure that the Gyrocopter does stay in place and does not run away with the help of a cheeky Sand King Burrow Strike or a Winter's Curse.
So it's an offlane Dark Willow, I think.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense. Because you don't want your white to be in the offlane because then your lineup gets a bit too greedy.
Hmm. Probably going to
Mm.
run some sort of an aggressive tri-lane with Rubik Clockwork and Dark Willow, I think. Um, they're looking for
That's good for the Sand King because Sand King against any sort of melee offlaner, he just zones them out completely, even Void.
Melly safe laner, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he would. But
so
what AT Gaming are looking for something in the mid lane. One would think of the Buck, often picked up with the Dark Willow, but I don't
okay, so
know.
they're gonna go with the Viper. Oh, the Viper pick. I'm not a big fan of this pick in all honesty.
I'm not a fan either. I think AT could just pick up the Brood and shit all over that Viper right now. I mean, what can the Viper
True.
do?
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing the Viper can do to that.
Then
Indeed.
you have to probably try and do something like a mid Sand King, yeah, and hope that works.
Sniper deals with the Viper to some extent.
Okay.
They're gonna go. Oh my god, they picked the worst possible hero to lane against the Viper. Why would they do that?
I
Okay,
mean,
I'm.
this
eh,
is them being a bit cocky. I think they believe that they can get away with running this lane, and maybe
Mainly Nature's
it'll reward them later. It's going to help them
Pro-
out in team fights.
Yeah, the Chronosphere and Sunstrike and everything is gonna be helping them out a lot. So it is gonna be an offlane Clockwork and a support duo of Rubik and Dark Willow.
Okay.
Clockwork against the Nature's Prophet and the Winter Wyvern. Okay, so they I think Clockwork is not gonna have that great of a time against the Nature's Prophet because he can't really deal with Treants and Nature's Prophet. Battery Assault only does so much. He's gonna be relying on maybe cogging his wave and making sure it stays in place so that he can get a kill. I mean, so that he can get a decent creep equilibrium.
hmm Yeah, he's probably going to look to cog his wave, and
Okay,
I think he could. Okay, so I thought he could get boots first, and with battery assault just run at the Nature's Prophet. It is a support Nature's Prophet. I think
okay.
maybe early on with the armor you have, if you just run straight into the Nature's Prophet who only has two trains, you can actually possibly win the train. I don't know.
I mean, it's sort of hard because then your teammates are gonna come to back you up, and then you suddenly
Yeah,
counted for a Nature's Prophet kill. Who has a boots? Who has boots? So I mean, it's not gonna happen
okay,
as easily as you think.
okay.
So with that said, I'm gonna take the pleasure of introducing the side of ATE Gaming. We have Kalnayak playing the Clockwork, Smoke on the Faceless Void, Invoker being played by Rival, Blue Frog on his Rubik, and Dark Willow in the hands of Zeus. Lots of laughing going around here.
Oh yeah.
Vivek, why don't you introduce the council?
On the other side of the river, we've got Jin playing the Nature's Prophet. Winter Wyvern going to be played by Animal Susmoy. He's going to be playing that Viper Gyrocopter in the hand of Deaths. And one of the newer additions to the council, Lost Rider. He's going to be playing
hmm
that Sand King.
Indeed, so looks like there's gonna be standard 2 bounty runes on their side of the map for both teams. No bounty rune snatching shenanigans, but just as I say that, Clockwork goes in, cogs him up, but he's gonna get Burrow Striked and the Winter's Curse is upon him. I mean,
Arctic Burn.
the Arctic Burn is upon him, yeah. Wrong spell name. That's he can't really close the distance, so Kalnaik is gonna be okay, but he took a bunch of damage and space created, he
Uh-huh.
says. For what exactly, my friend? For what?
Did,
So
he
it is
didn't
gonna
get
be a duel.
he didn't get the bounty rune, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So it is gonna be a duel lane in the top part of the map. It's gonna be the Dark Willow and the Clockwork. So the Clockwork is trying to pull the next creep wave.
It is
Hmm.
an offlane Dark Willow.
Yep, it does seem like it. I mean, who's the support here? Is it
Clockwork.
Kalnayak?
Yeah, Kalang. So Kalang played the offlane role in the
Oh,
past,
okay.
but this time around, I think because he's the IGL as well, he's playing the 4 position. Um,
hmm
so we're gonna see Kalang playing the 4 position. Yeah.
Okay. Top lane the Sand King, he's already out of mana and he's gonna pop his Clarity, so that should give him some of the mana back.
hmm
Level 1 at the moment. As long as the dual lane does not die on the side of ATE Gaming, they will eventually get ahead because this is a tri lane and you're sharing experience
hmm
between 3 heroes, so eventually it's gonna end up favoring ATE. Bottom lane, looks like Jin is gonna be playing the offlane role and it's not gonna be a support Nature's Prophet as I thought, so a bit of a role switch up coming out here on the side of Team Council.
Yeah.
Smokies has a bunch of regen, is doing okay in lane. Not too worried about Jin using his strings to harass him. Mid lane though, not sure if the same can be said about Invoker, who is surprisingly 6 and 5 at the moment against the Viper 6 and 2. Level 3 at the moment, Viper's still level 2. A
hmm
matchup that I think should favor the Invoker. I mean, should favor the Vipers, favoring
Yeah.
the Invokers.
I think this is a clear sign that one of the two players is a little weak in terms of skill. I mean, come on,
Okay.
Viper versus Invoker, it should always go. If two players are of equal skill, it
And
should always go to the Viper.
okay, somewhere the Raiden Curie ended up falling.
Yeah, I missed that
Don't
as
know
well.
how that happened.
And
Zeus in the top lane, he just had a huge wave in his tower, so he's gonna get a bunch of XP. Already level 3, and on the other side, Jin, he too has hit level 3.
mid
Starting to
lane,
run out of mana at the point. Mid lane,
he's okay.
there was an attempt on to rival with a double damage room, but he's gonna be fine. Lost Strider, he only has 1 point in Burrow Strike, so it's not the longest range
Hmm
on that skill. With the DD rune, it should be helping out the Viper a lot more.
I'm not sure how Dark Willow is finding the levels that she's finding. I think Council are struggling to win 2 out of their 3 lanes. The only one who's doing somewhat okay is Jin. I mean, sure, the Gyrocopter's farming, but they haven't shut down the Dark Willow.
Yeah, Jin in the bottom lane. Bit of an awkward position here, surrounded by Khalnayak as well as Smoke. He's gonna be able to TP out for now. Top lane, Zeus, he's trying to do a pull of his own, but is not gonna be successful in doing so. Only manages to catch the range creep. And this Invoker just can't stop laughing.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he's laughing at. He's getting a couple of denies off, but not like he's winning
I mean, he's finally starting to fall behind. Viper is starting to pull ahead. He's 15 and 7. Invoker is 10 and 8. I think he finally realized that this is not that great of a matchup as he thought. Oh, as I say that, Burrow Strike in the mid lane onto Rival. Rival tries to turn around with the Cold Snap onto Sand King, but not much is going to come of it. Rubik's here with the lift. It's going to throw him back, but it's not going to be in tower range. And that's going to make sure that Viper can't get the kill.
And Jin is being extremely patient with his rotations. He could have moved mid, but he's holding on to that TP.
Yeah, he does not want to go in where he cannot secure a kill. I mean, maybe if Jin came in mid with the Sprout, they could have been able to find the kill on Rival.
Yep.
He had 3 Incense Sprouts, so maybe they could have gotten the kill. Mid lane, Viper might be in some trouble. Clockwork going forward with the battery assault. Blue Frog does have the Fade Bolt to secure the last kill, and Cold Snap onto Viper. He most certainly should end up falling. And with the Fourth Spirit and Cold Snap, Khalnayak will draw the first blood. Well played there by AT Gaming, recognizing that the Viper is a bit too far out. Perfect execution of that gank.
Khalnayak even waiting on till the very last minute to use those cogs.
Yeah.
Trying to get as much
Khalnayak was
back
patient,
in.
man.
Yeah, he's extremely patient.
Top lane, Gyrocopter. Rocket Barrage just flies through. So does the homing missile, but Dark Willow was able to avoid most of the damage thanks to the Shadow Realm. And the Dark Willow is actually doing quite some work. That nuke damage is gonna hurt.
They've caught Animal. Yeah.
Top lane. He's gonna be caught in the Bramble Maze for now, but he's gonna be able to get away as Lost Rider is coming in. They try to turn it around, but he's gonna be caught in the Bramble once again. The ward placed by ATE Gaming is gonna get pinged out. Both of the wards were placed at exactly the same time. Can you believe it? So for now, not much going on the map. Viper, he's still dominating his lane despite sort of dying once.
Yep.
But
What's
he's only doing it in terms of creeps. In terms of XP, it's actually favoring Rival.
Yeah, Rival definitely has more denies to his name. He's also picked up that Aquila that should help him and his Fourth Spirit output more physical damage if need be. The thing is, Jin is doing really, really well in the Nature's Prophet, and if he keeps this up, he could pick up an early Orchid. You normally don't see the Void build into a Manta style. You don't see the Invoker build into a Yules or a BKB that quickly. But at mid, they're going to try once more. This time,
they tried to catch the Viper, but it was not successful. Lost Rider, he's here with the Burrow Strike, and with that, they certainly should be able to find the Rubik. Animal comes in with the Winter's Curse just for good measure.
wait, there
Jin
wasn't
secured
any
that
Winter's
kill.
Curse.
Oh, I mean Arctic Burn, Yeah, I'm a dumbass. I need to make sure that I remember spell names correctly.
Well, Void is sitting at the top of the net worth charts. It's the only bit of good news for ATE Gaming. I mean, it's been a near even laning stage. Still don't understand how the Dark Willow's even standing in that goddamn freaking lane. Such an easy kill, honestly. I mean, with the Sand King, the Winter Wyvern, and the Gyrocopter. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Faceless Void, he's not had the best time, but he certainly is doing better than the other heroes on the side of Team ATE.
hmm
And might be in some trouble here. Sprout
nah.
catching the Faceless Void, locking him in. Does have the time walk in another few seconds though, so he's gonna be okay. Chronosphere, he might just try to turn around, and Chronosphere is gonna catch the Sand King as well as the Nature's Prophet. And with the Sunstrike, never mind, it's not even needed. The Bedlam does the trick.
I mean, 8 minutes in. Okay, they actually time to turn it around.
Okay, Khaldnayak, Deaths is here with the homing missile and the rocket barrage as well as the call down, but he's not going to be able to find the kill. Oh wait, he did find the kill on Khaldnayak, and now Zeus, he might be in some trouble. He's going to get sprouted up as well. Another kill going the way of Team Council. Good rotation there by Deaths. Got his level 6, realizes that Khaldnayak is out of position, goes and gets a kill. Mid lane, Viper. He's not doing as well as you'd want him to against the Invoker. I mean, still doesn't really have a level advantage. They're pretty much sitting at even CS at the moment.
Yeah.
If what I'm seeing is correct. Yep, 32 and 15 for both sides. Although the bot tower is going to be falling for Council, so that's one thing that they have rolling. And that may be enough to bring Viper back into the game. He's trying to finish up his power treads, but not sure if you want to be going for power treads. I think something like the drums or the 4-star first could be more necessary because you need to make sure you don't get stuck in the cogs.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could almost agree with the Gyrocopter just going for a 4-star first himself.
I mean, if he gets cogged, then he's pretty much dead 90% of the time because Invoker's gonna follow it in with the Sunstrike. There's gonna be the Dark Willow Shadow Realm as hit as well. That's gonna be coming in and dealing a bunch of damage. So you don't really want to be locked inside the cogs. Khaldnayak is gonna find the D-ward on his hillside. It's just about to expire though. Blue Frog, he's trying to find some level stop. He's been a poor support. 0, 1 and 1. Has boots sitting in his inventory in the base. Just trying to find his levels. So Void still not doing the best in terms of farm, but does have the power treads. Does have the Aquila. They've lost the tier 1 tower 8.5 minutes in. Up top. Looks like there is some action going on. Winter Wyvern, he might be in some trouble. Bedlam is gonna fly through, but it's not really dealing any damage as all the damage is gonna be absorbed by the treants, and now the turnaround is there from Jin with the Sprout and with the Nature's Wrath. He's gonna be able to find the kill onto Rubik. Zeus is gonna be able to get away, but that's a Bedlam wasted as well as a Terrorize on cooldown, which was used previously in some other engagement. So important kill there, and well played by Jin. They're making sure that the treants absorb most of the Bedlam damage, keeping his Winter Wyvern safe. For a second I was surprised as to why is the Winter Wyvern not dying, but then I realized that it's Jin with the treants. Jin certainly is sort of carrying his team through this early game.
Yeah.
For the side of the council.
Phase and drums. I'm sure he's going to start getting more what the hell? Casual drum charge there.
Okay.
Probably looking to, I don't know. But yeah, I presume he's going to get more active across the map and try and find kills as and where he can. Rivals recognize the fact that the lane is no more a safe space to be in. He's moved into the jungle. He's searching for that Midas. Not getting the best timing on it, but he did go for an Aquila.
Okay, I mean, Midas
Khaldnayak
on Invoker nowadays can be... Oh, Khaldnayak. What's happening? Looks like he's cogged up Sand King and he is going to be stunned up, but the Cold Embrace is going to keep him alive for a little while longer. Sunstrike off the money, but not the Bedlam. The Bedlam is going to secure the kill. Jintu taking quite a bit of damage, and Smoke, he's here. Does have the Chronosphere if he wants to, but the Bramble Mace is going to do the trick, but he's going to pop the Chronosphere anyway. Looks like on some other part of the map, Khaldnayak ended up falling down. And now Viper, he's here, he's eyeing up Blue Frog. Blue Frog might be in some trouble, he has no mana, is pretty close to the shrine, but Jin with the body blocks from the treants. He's gonna be able to secure the kill on the Rubik. My god, Jhin with the micro from the grave. Man, this guy's shoulders must take from all the carrying he's been doing for his team.
At mid, they want to bring down
Mid
Rival.
lane. Yeah, Cogs, he's actually gonna end up catching Rival and helping out Susmoy. Susmoy, he's trying to walk back. Sand King, he does have the Battle Strike in a few more seconds. Meteor is gonna be dropped on top of the Viper's head, and with the Bedlam, they might be able to find the kill, and they're gonna find two. Only lose Khalnaik, and Zeus picks up 2 kills. Viper and Sand King down for the count, and Sand King, he's gonna be set even further behind. This is not looking good for Council. They ended up losing the Sand King, they ended up losing the Viper. What should have been a clean kill onto the Invoker was turned around courtesy of the Dark Willow. And this is really what the power of the Dark Willow is. You look at her, she doesn't really have the most farm, just a bottle and a windlace. And boots, of course, but with those spells like Bedlam and Terrorize, she's able to turn these fights around.
I think it's also a pain to play anyone who's responsible for initiation versus the Dark Willow, because I mean the Bramble Maze, look at that AoE, it's ridiculous. Terrorize, ridiculous AoE.
But the problem with the Bramble Maze is sort of though that you can navigate your way through it, right? So if you're careful and if you're alert, you're not gonna be caught in the Bramble, but sometimes in choke points, there's just no option but to either turn around, go back into the enemy, or walk through the Bramble. And in those cases, Bramble is a really good spell indeed. Jhin, he might be in some trouble here, top lane. Zeus, Bramble Maze is gonna catch him out. Does have the teleport if he needs it, but he is gonna be terrorized for the moment. Smoke comes in, does not have the Chronosphere for another 48 seconds. But Draenei, with the Winter's Curse, finally is gonna be able to secure the kill on the Dark Willow. Smoke kills his own ally. Deaths is here as well with the homing missile and the call down, catching out Smoke. Jhin doing a fair bit of damage with the Nature's Wrath. Deaths might be in some trouble, but the hookshot from Khalnaik is actually gonna catch Smoke, and he's gonna end up falling as a result. Take my life, he says, as he jumps in to save his Void, and Jhin, now with a whole bunch of treants pounding away at this tier 2 tower. What can AT really do to stop this? They have no wave clear, they have no way of dealing with the wave. Invoker, he's sitting in the mid lane who's eaten a Viper Strike to the face. He's not gonna be too happy. Susmoy, he's still just holding the Invoker over here. Mid lane, once again. Into Wyvern. In some trouble. Auto Strike is gonna catch him out. Gyrocopter with the Rocket Barrage is gonna find the Dark Willow as well. She's gonna end up falling. Blue Frog sitting in the trees, who might just end up falling, and he will to the Flak Cannon. Deaths manages to pick up another freebie.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be pleased about that one. They lost the fight, they went in and they fed another couple of kills. And Jhin, he's found space to push out the bottom lane, but Smoke is here, has the Chronosphere. They got the Rocket Heat-Seeking Missile. Not even the Heat-Seeking Missile, what am I saying? The Rocket Flare and the Meteor. And they're going to get that kill. But yeah, this is space. Council are finding another objective elsewhere on the map, and Jesus, I mean, think Council were a team of pocket strats or comfort picks, whatever you may call them. I think this season's comfort pick is the Nature's Prophet. Khalnaik, he's going to go in with a hook shot, quick power strike. Khalnaik taking a bit too much damage from the Rocket Barrage, will end up falling. Blue Frog with a Viper Strike upon him, should probably end up going down. Deaths gets himself a double kill. The Bramble Maze is there. It is controlling the Gyrocopter, but it isn't enough. Look at this, Jhin, he actually TPs in from the back. Lost Rider is there with the Battle Strike. Zeus looking for the Terrorize, will not find it. The Council.
Man, that hurts. Jhin, he's been all over the map and you have no way of dealing with this Nature's Prophet. In fact, the only hope you really have of killing the Prophet is when you have a Chronosphere. And the Chronosphere is on cooldown for another 70 seconds. So Council, they don't really care about all the lineup that ATE has. It doesn't come online anytime soon. And with the Nature's Prophet, they're just pushing tier 2 towers here.
Yeah.
It's 14 minutes into the game and all your tier 2 towers are sitting at half HP. This is not the position you want to be in if you're ATE gaming. I mean, the path's wide open for the Council here. They can go towards Roshan, they can just wait and get the VKB for that's going, and then they can start taking these fights.
I think they keep going for tier 2 towers. They know, I mean, like, AT have said this loud and clear that, guys, we don't have Chronosphere, we're no good without Chronosphere, so we're not going to fight you. If they're not going to fight us, let's just take your buildings. But look at this. Kalnak with the hook shot. He's caught Jin. Does he have enough to bring him down? That's is here with the call down. Just pushing that back. The council will not lose anyone. They might lose Animal though. Blue Frog.
Oh, Animal.
Blue Frog.
He's just gonna fly over the cliff and be frying.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Great defensive use of the Arctic burn over there.
Yeah.
Not the Winter's Curse, the Arctic burn.
Lost Rider is also getting closer and closer to that Blink Dagger of his. Which is pretty
He's
good.
about. Yeah, I
He's
mean,
making
all
good
these
time.
towers have helped him.
Yeah, all these
good
towers have
time.
definitely helped.
He died quite a lot early on, but he secured his team a lot of kills. And now, with the Blink Dagger pickup, he's gonna be back to where he should.
Yeah.
Region Rune as well, just waiting for him to be picked up.
But Rival
Shin does
is
bring it out.
moving towards the rune. Nah, he's not gonna get it.
Yeah, he's not gonna find it. Sand King. Now as the Blink Dagger, this should be the time they smoke. You have your Blink Dagger, but okay, so he hasn't revealed himself really. The Blink Dagger still is inventory.
Right.
I think they should try and smoke here with the Viper. Find a kill onto Rival or the Faceless Void. Ideally the Faceless Void because that will enable you to push. Faceless Void is the only big disable that you really have if you're ATE gaming right now.
Right.
That's the only real way you can take a team fight reliably. And if you take the Faceless Void down, suddenly the path is wide open for tier 2 towers.
Smoke on the void is also picked up another key item. I'm not sure if this Dire
Shadow
Observer ward spotted it out.
Okay.
I don't know.
It,
Yeah, now
okay,
they
now
should
it
have.
is.
Yeah. So hopefully Council come with detection.
Yep. Council, they need to make sure they have sentry wards around.
Ah,
This Faceless
come
Void
on.
is gonna be using shit like
they smoked without
no.
detection. They smoked without detection. Animal.
I mean, you never know, man. They just might find a kill and chain stun the Faceless Void to death.
Yeah,
but-
that's hoping that your enemies are more sloppy than you. Anyway, they're gonna get some wards down at the very least.
Or that could also mean that they're better than the enemy. Rival? He might be in some trouble here. The ward is spotted
Yeah,
him out.
Jin is
Lost
TPing in on
Rider,
the
he's
back.
trying to
Lost
go in.
Rider.
The Burrow Strike. With that, he is gonna end up tanking the gank and ends up falling down. Jin, 17 minutes in, sitting on drums, phase boots, and an Orchid Malevolence, and that's after all those early game items. This man never ceases to impress me. Be it his efficient micro, be it his plays around the map. I mean, now too he's captaining his team and he's doing it very well. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do. He's picked up Nature's Prophet, he has all these sort of early fighting heroes, and this is where the Viper is strong. You group up early, suddenly you have a presence that only dies to physical damage really. Magical damage is not the way to kill Viper, and even if you do, you're gonna have to commit a lot. That's not what you really want to do if you're ATE.
Yeah. Smoke is going in though
TNC
with the
cover.
Shadow Blade. He goes on a Susmoy, has the Chronosphere, catches Jin as well. TC, the Council, they've got to get that Cold Embrace out, but they don't say the Viper. Lost Rider though with the Epicenter, catches 2, catches 3 and deaths with the Flak Cannon. Gets himself a triple kill. Jesus.
Oh boy.
AD, they've been outplayed. A perfect Epicenter and Burrow coming up from Lost Rider there.
And there's no Chronosphere. What are
They-
you gonna do now if you're ATE? This is
They-
just a free tier
I mean,
tower.
they have no choice but to try and fight, but the Orchid is there, the
More
Sprout as
keys?
well. They've got the Burrow Strike, but they don't have detection.
Oh boy. Now it's gonna bite them back in the butt. Jin taunting away, he's gonna make it safely. Oh boy. If only they had
AD are
detection.
TPing to the shrine. They are looking to cancel TPs. They found Animal Deaths. Comes out of the Cold Embrace. Looks to man up here. Has the Rocket Barrage. The Winter's Curse is there. But the Bedlam damage. That's going to rip apart the Gyrocopter. That's his streak taken away. The Wrath of Nature will find them a kill onto the Clockwork. ATE do manage to find
Okay.
the Winter Wyvern as well.
I mean, he was essentially like, here, don't take my position 5 support, take me instead, I'm the position 1 carry, and they both end up falling. A little
Yeah.
surprised there that he would go for that move, especially against the Clockwork. He has the Dragon Lance. so
Mid
he's-
lane, they've got someone. They've
Oh.
got the Dark Willow. She does have a Yule
He's
Scepter.
fine.
That's going to shrug off the Orchid. But are they going to chase Lost Rider? No.
Blue Frog is in the vicinity if they want to turn it around. Jin. Man, this guy, he's been doing so much work in this game already. He's pretty close to his Shadow Blade. Only about 800 gold away from it. He's gonna pick up a few bounty runes and get even closer. And once he has that Shadow Blade, this Void is not gonna see the Nature's Prophet coming. The good news is that Void does have a Shadow Blade of his own, but then you're probably gonna buy detection if you're the council.
Sand King's got detection.
Sand King has the dust, and that should be enough to find the Faceless Void every single time they decide to go for him. Rocket Flare scouting out Roshan. Looks like they did suspect a Rosh attempt by Team Council, but Council's lineup is not the best at doing Roshan.
Smoke, he's gone in. Susmaya has the Cold Embrace to keep him alive. The Sunstrike will come through. They're trying to deal with this Viper. Turns around, drops the Viper Strike, but elsewhere to the east, the Epicenter and the Burrow. They're going to bring down the Rubik, but it is only a Rubik. Jin comes in from the backline, has the Orchid, but he eats a Chronosphere. Smoke looking to turn it around. The Winter's Curse not doing too much. Jin, though, he's got a Glimmer Cape to keep him alive, and Dark Willow with the Bedlam looks to turn things around. The Splinter Blast not enough. They do lose Kalnak, but they will find the Winter Wyvern and Lost Rider. He's got Death Sin Jin to back him up. He'll turn around. He'll bring down the Void. Dark Willow and Rival, the only two survivors here. Rival might have found himself another with the Tornado. Brings down the Sand King.
Oh boy.
It is still
What
only
a scrappy fight.
Oh shit! Jade stood in one place, farmed creeps and ate a Sunstrike.
That's actually really good for Team 80 because now you can't really push. Nature's Prophet is dead. These streams are gonna get dealt with by the Zeus, and that's the end of the push. I'm a little surprised that Deaths was a little late to the team fight, in fact, and Rocket Barrage too was just dealing damage to creeps. It wasn't dealing damage to the Faceless Void. That kill should not have happened there, but somehow Council managed to make sure the Void dies and Jin survives the Chronosphere. And every single time, if you notice, the Void tries to Chronosphere the Nature's Prophet, tries to right-click him down, but there's always a save. This time it was in the form of a Shadow Blade that was picked up by Chin. Also the Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, the Glimmer Cape. Animal, that is not your lane. I'm watching Animal. He's trying to keep Kalnak busy, but elsewhere further north, they do lose that. Susmoy all by himself. Lost Rider doesn't have the epicenter, but Susmoy's got the Blade Mail. The damage just too much. Rival with the Sprout got inside, will end up falling. Void does time walk, looks to run, but Lost Rider will give chase. 3 seconds until he has the Burrow Strike. They've got the Nether Toxin. They're trying to chase down this Void, but they are bleeding heroes elsewhere as the Winter Wyvern ends up falling. Lost Rider should have a blink and a Burrow Strike, should be able to close the gap, but is it enough for the killer? Time dilation comes out and they do not have enough to bring down Smoke.
Yeah, the Viper's already given up on the kill. He's heading towards the bottom lane to push the tower.
Yeah.
Jin, he has another set of trains in 13 seconds, so should be able to take this tower if he so desires. Looks like he's gonna TP to the top area instead. Looks like they don't want to go for racks yet. You don't have your Gyro, you don't have your Winter's Curse.
Council had an advantage, but I feel like they've kind of been sloppy with how they've used it.
Yeah, I mean, they could have gone and sort of gotten some damage off on the tier 3 right now as well, but they were somewhat afraid. I don't know why. The Invoker was dead, the Rubik was dead, the Clockwork was dead. I mean, that's the best time you can go for kills. I mean, sorry, for
Objectives.
tower damage. Yeah, objectives. Kalnak, he's trying to finish up his Blade Mail so that he can deal with the Gyrocopter to some extent. Once the Blade Mail's out, this Gyrocopter is gonna have to be a lot more careful about how he uses his Rocket Flare. I mean, uses his Rocket Barrage.
Yeah. It
Another
is.
pause.
It is only 23 minutes in, and this is when Council are at their strongest. The later and later this game goes, I start leaning towards ATE.
I mean, it's still sort of relative, right? Because DOTA is not necessarily all about the time. It's about when you pick up your items. You look at Jin, he has his core items. You look at Gyrocopter, he has his Mask of Madness and his Hurricane Pike, so he is in fighting shape. The Winter Wyvern as well, he has a Glimmer Cape and Sand King. He's ready with his Blink Dagger and Burrow Strike and Epicenter. So if there's any time to be aggressive, it is now. You need to smoke up, group up, find the Void or the Invoker and convert that into an objective and at least force buybacks.
Right.
Once you force buybacks, you can try going back for Roshan or wait for your ultimates to come back off cooldown and go for another fight. That's how you play these lineups. They have to be played with extreme discipline, and you really need to be aware of every sort of play in the book in order to make it work right.
Exactly, but if they miss their timing, I could see ATE come back is what I meant.
Yeah, Invoker, he's already has his Yule Scepter now along with the Aghanim Scepter, so
Right. So
he's
like
gonna be a hard.
exactly. I
Orchid
mean,
is not to work.
Jin Jin is going to struggle to control someone with the Orchid. Both the Invoker and the Dark Willow have the Yule Scepters, so
Yep, Smoke too, he's getting closer and closer to his BKB. He might just find Jinya, who's sitting in the tree line. He's not gonna go forward.
I mean,
Does have the Chronosphere, though.
could
Might
go for
just go
Susmoy.
Yeah, but that's is there in the
Oh,
vicinity.
he's got deaths
Oh,
in
no.
fact. The Nether Toxin is there, but they've got the Sunstrike. Quick Burrow Strike coming through. The Meteor will miss, but Kalak with the hook shot. He's right on top of Deaths and Deaths. Doesn't have a force staff, doesn't have a way out of the cogs. Kalak trying to make a run for it, but elsewhere Smoke is chasing for more. He wants the Winter Wyvern. Lost Rider with the Burrow Strike controlling Kalak will find himself that kill onto the Clockwork. An Animal with the Curse Crown upon him will get stunned. Sticks too close to the Sand King for comfort, who gets stunned as well. They'll chase for the Sand King, who's being kept alive with his Cold Embrace. The Shadow Realm will buy the Dark Willow sometime as she turns around and smacks Lost Rider straight in the head. Zeus is dominating in ATE. They lost the Rubik, they lost the Clockwork, but they got a whole lot more.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jim is just pressuring mid and forced out the buyback from Rubik. They can't afford to lose so many heroes. They lost the Gyrocopter, they lost the Viper, as well as the Sand King. That was a move where the entirety of Team Council should have responded. I don't know where the Wyvern was or what he was doing, where the Nature's Prophet was. That's a fight that if you take it, you're gonna end up finding at least a tier 3 tower, if nothing else.
So Wyvern TP'd out. I mean, Nature's Prophet
Oh.
TP'd out just as the fight was
Okay.
starting. Don't you remember
Yeah.
Smoke was in the trees next to
Oh,
Jin
yeah,
and Jin TP'd out?
Indeed. That makes a lot more sense now. Well, they made best of a worse situation and got some tower damage off, so that's good, but
Uh-huh.
they need to minimize this. They need
Oh,
to
they're
fight
moving
man
towards
more often.
Roshan, but the Tornado's there, the Rocket Flare as well as Kalnak. Gonna look for a hook shot? No, he's too far away.
Yeah, they're just gonna back out of the Roshan, but they can't really take it right now with the items they have. They need to wait for the Gyrocopter to get at least the BKB before they can think of going in. Because then you have Terrorize, then you have Bedlam damage, you have all the sort of magical bursts available on the side of AT to bring the Gyro down, so... Gyro hasn't really been farming that well. He's only sitting on 130 last hits. Has a Mask of Madness and one component of his BKB, that's the Ogre Club. 26 minutes in, this is... I mean, this is not bad farm by any means, but you certainly want your Gyro to have his BKB at this point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the time where you pick up those crucial fights where kills turn into objectives and objectives turn into game-winning, plays. You can't set those up if you don't have the BKB. He's trying to farm as efficiently as he can, but they still need to try and group up and make some sort of play. Try and find a kill.
Smoke.
On the
He's lurking right next to Jin as the Chronosphere arrival is making his way. The Sunstrike to start with will be more than enough to bring down the Nature's Prophet. 67
Indeed.
seconds without him. They could swing towards Roshan. Just push out bottom and swing towards Roshan. Now there are a lot of pings in the Rosh pit. Not really sure who that is.
It seems like AT, they're pointing out that they know we're bottom, they know we've used Chronospheres, they are likely to go into the Rosh pit, but
They're gonna
Council,
actually
they're
try
not
and bring
doing
down
that.
Smoke. They've got the Epicenter and the Borrow Strike. The Viper Strike is there as well. They'll bring down the Void Rival. A bit too late with the Tornado, but the EMP will do work. Smoke trying to chase for more. Excuse me. The Invoker being chased, but elsewhere further north they've got Animal. He has the Glimmer Cape, but they've got Detection. Lost Rider, nice two-man Borrow Strike setting up for the call down. The Terrorize coming through from Zeus and Deaths without the BKB will not be able to do anything about that. Blue Frog though, in no man's land, will end up falling to the Viper. The homing missile does manage to clip onto Zeus. So Smoy still trying to chase Lost Rider. He's been on point on the Sand King. Does manage to find the Dark Willow just as the Nature's Prophet respawns. So the Council can quickly move towards Roshan.
indeed. And into the Rosh pit they go. He's gonna be there with the Orchid and the Treants. Sunstrike. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on that. Has
They-
to be careful now. If he gets hookshot, he might end up falling here.
Yeah, that's... I mean, these Fort Spirits, they're playing with him. The Tornado is coming through. EMP in the pit. Susmoy low on HP and mana has got to be careful. Jin elsewhere, he's caught Kalnak in the Sprout on the high ground. I'm not sure how he keeps this going, but Lost Rider is there with the Barrow Strike. They'll bring down the Clockwork. The Blade Mail did do a fair amount of work. The Sun Strike misses on the Nature's Prophet. He was actually teeping back towards the Shrine. The Council, they've been repelled from the Rosh Pit. They've been forced to Shrine, and ATE are back. Rivals lurking around the pit.
The Rosh Pit themselves.
Exactly. Rival, he's got the Ghost Walk. He's been lurking around the pit on that Invoker and Smoke. He's got the Chronosphere available.
They should contest this Roshan. This is the best chance AT are probably gonna have of catching them all together.
I'm not sure why they're running away. I am not
okay, so they contest Roshan and they suddenly lose a Clockwork and don't feel confident. Guys, you have Chronosphere. Come on. Okay, with that, he's gonna manage to find the Aegis and.
That's. Is that okay? I don't know.
I'm fine. I mean, Viper isn't really doing much in these team fights. He's just getting his mana drained every single. So it might make sense to give the Aegis to Deaths, who can actually sort of use.
Oh no, I'm okay with that. But with AT not contesting Roshan.
Oh, that's questionable.
Look at this bottom lane, the Lost Rider. He's caught Rival with the Yules, with the detection, but Jin, I guess his TP was on cooldown, and yeah, it was. Lost Rider has been putting in some real work on the Sand King.
Indeed. His Barrow Strikes and Epic Centers have been on point this game. They've really what's carried Council through these team fights. The early game, the heavy lifting was done by Jin. Mid game, Lost Rider's on point with his Blink Dagger and is trying to put his team in a good situation, but time and again the Viper he ends up falling in these fights all the time. He needs a BKB in order to be able to survive these engagements. Once he has the BKB, he'll have a lot more impact. But the problem really is that the early game didn't go as well as it should have. I mean, Viper's basically a liability until he gets his BKB. He's not an asset anymore, because you really take Viper because you want to win your mid lane. You don't win your mid lane, suddenly Viper's just a walking. He's just a walking.
They might find Smoke though.
Sort of thing.
They are trying to chase Smoke. Pops his BKB. They've got the Winter's Curse. Yeah, that's going to hold Smoke in place. A 10-second BKB wasted. Rival looking to counter initiate. Has the Tornado and the EMP. The Meteor coming through. Jin dropping low. Has a BKB of his own. Elsewhere, further north, the Chronosphere catching Animal. Animal going to drop. The Cataclysm is there. It clips a couple. Doesn't do too much. Smoke will end up falling. The Orchid, just a bit too much coming out from Jin on that Nature's Prophet. And Gyrocopter was chasing someone. Not really sure who. But ATE, they lose a Void. They find a Winter Wyvern.
Oh boy.
That was a longest
that was a good
homing
Chronosphere
missile.
by Smoke, but he only got the Winter Wyvern there, and that's Chronosphere down once again. This is the window for Council to push.
Do you think
But look at
the Void needs something like an Ag Scepter this game?
I just think that the Void needs to get a lot more farm than he is right now. Once he has something like a Mjolnir, MKB, then he can consider an Axe. I mean, once he has another big attack speed item, because right now he's having trouble outputting DPS in these fights.
Also, I think it's
Like
it's partly a draft issue. I feel from ATE, but it's also partly the fact that Blue Frog isn't doing that much as the Rubik. Anyway, they're going to try and break down Susboy. They've got the Curse Crown. Hook shot, they're committing heavily. They will get the Viper. Deaths commits with the call down, uses his BKB, but there's no lockdown coming out from the Council. Deaths is going to hold his ground. He's going to find the Rubik, but just as I criticize the lack of lockdown, they've caught Kalnak. But the Terrorize, perfectly timed, sends all of them back with the exception of Jin, who came in with the Sprout, found the Clockwork. Smoke once again commits his BKB, but doesn't have the Chronosphere. The Sunstrike being thrown out doesn't clip onto anyone. Lost Rider needs to be careful. Has the Cold Embrace, looks to turn with the Burrow, doesn't quite catch anyone and manages to blink away. The Winter's Curse, it's caught out Zeus. Zeus will fall. Animal, ensuring the Council keep the man advantage in their favor. They've still got the Aegis on Deaths. They've got Jin with all those summons. This could be them taking a tier 3 tower at the very least.
Indeed, this is a really good team fight for the Council. Chronosphere still up though.
Oh,
So they actually need to
rival
fight. BKB is
Tornado
down.
Sunstrike snipes the gyrocopter. That's his Aegis taken away. Lost Rider goes in. There's the Chronosphere. Does manage to catch that. If they bring down the gyrocopter, it could be huge, and they're going to do just that. Jin focusing the objective. Does manage to snatch the tier 3 tower. Lost Rider caught in the Bramble Maze. Has Yule Scepters galore being thrown out on him. Will finally end up falling.
They managed to hold because of the Chronosphere there.
I think it's partly also rival who collect.
Yes, Night Aegis.
They've got Jin. Doesn't have the Shadow Blade. The Ghost Walk was slowing him
Has the
down.
BKB.
Rival looking to try and bring down this Nature's Prophet, but I mean BKB TP. It's not gonna be enough. Collect not taking his chances, not going for a blind hook shot. Didn't have a read of the opponent's movements, and Blue Frog with the haste rune giving chase. He's caught Animal.
Animal. It's gonna be okay for now. Jin. That was a BKB charge use, and that was a 9-second BKB, so that's a win for AT right there. Just managing to make the Fury on purpose BKB is a big deal, because once that BKB is down to 5 seconds, this Fury is gonna have a lot harder time surviving. Suddenly he has to be worried about meteors, he has to be worried about tornadoes coming his way. Rubik can lift him, Dark Willow can use her spells on him. So, win for ATE overall. I think what they should try and do now, oh, as I say that, Zeus is gonna have a homing missile coming his way, but that's about it. No follow-up from Council, they just want to farm for now. What Council should possibly try to do at the moment is, like I said earlier, they just need to 5-man up, get a smoke, find a killer on one of these core heroes and convert that into an objective, or at least force buybacks. That's what their lineup is meant to do. The more they farm, the more space they're giving this Void and Invoker, and Void and Invoker are super late game heroes. I mean, you reach that 40-45 minute mark where Invoker has an Octarine Core, a Scythe of Ice, he's just gonna be styling all over you because your BKBs are low on cooldown. Faceless Void too, once he reaches that late game, he hits hard. Really hard. Especially if you have something like MKB. Smoke is, although he's gonna go for Butterfly. So that's gonna make sure he survives against the Gyrocopter and the Nature's Prophet. But look at this. Jin has a Hex. Scythe of Ice now finished up for him. Does get spotted out though, so AT do know that he has the Scythe.
I guess both teams are probably just gonna wait until the next Roshan. They're gonna farm, they're gonna try and get the best items that they can.
I mean, Roshan's not up for a while, and
Yeah,
I'm
but
not sure you want to go any later than this.
I guess
you're
the plan
Council.
is you don't want to. I think it's already gone. I mean, they're one fight away from losing the advantage in this game, I believe. If this game goes a bit later, I don't know, another couple of minutes, they lose a fight. Another 5 minutes, and if they lose a fight, I think AT are very much in this game.
I mean, they sort of already lost their advantage early on, right? When they didn't press at 18 minutes. When they got the team wipe, they decided to go back and farm, when instead they should have just pressured the tier 3 tower. Then they could have taken up shrines, could have opened the way to Roshan, and Gyrocopter would have had a lot more farm. Instead, it's 36 minutes in, all he's sitting on really is a Hurricane Pike. Doesn't give you any damage, a Mask of Madness, it's only there for accelerating your farm speed, and BKB, it's a purely defensive item. Gyrocopter doesn't have a lot of offensive potential.
Yeah, he's also just looking to tank up. I can't say I agree with the Skadi pickup.
I think he wants to slow down his opponents, but that's not gonna work when Faceless Void has Time Walk. It doesn't matter if you slow him down.
I mean, I
be
think
able to Time Walk away.
Yeah, but at this point you want to be building a damage item.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be having a Butterfly or an MKB, maybe even considering a Rapier at this point. So what Tets could have done, I mean, looks like he wanted to go for this slightly tanky slash DPS heavy route. A lot of Gyrocopter like to build the Aghanim Scepter, and for a good reason. That extra side gunner that is added when you purchase the axe, it actually increases your DPS output by a lot.
Right.
It's almost like having an Echo Saber every 1.3 seconds, and that's pretty insane. Deaths though. It's gonna be farming up as Skadi. Skadi does mean that they'll be able to chase down the supports though. So the Rubik and the Dark Willow, they're gonna have a hard time running away.
I mean,
Can't say the same about the Void though.
maybe the Skadi could work. Maybe it could be what they need. It's not like they have a lot of heavy heroes to chew through. Maybe it's enough to deal with the sort of somewhat squishy lineup that AT are running. But I'm pretty much certain he has to pick up a damage item after this. He can't build another. Oh, up top they've got Jin, they've got detection.
Oh, no.
The Cataclysm will not connect. Khalnayak will look for the hook shot. Jin can actually just TP away right now.
No,
So with the hook shot, I didn't see him channel his TP even. Sure, maybe he could have actually TP'd because the hook shot is the only thing that pierces spell immunity and cancels TP, with the exception of the Chronosphere on the side of AT. And with the hook shot,
Jin was just done with life. So that's all that there's to it really. But the Gyrocopter, I think I can understand why he wants to go for this sort of Eye of Skadi. He does realize that he needs to tank up. He got caught in the Chronosphere last time and got essentially soloed by the Void.
okay.
And he's like, well, when that happens next time, I don't want to be dying. So Skadi helps you with that somewhat.
Oh, come on, Susmoy.
Oh no.
He might end up falling. He's got a force staff. The Terrorize is coming to. Lost Rider has got to be careful. The Deafening Blast and the Meteor clips both him and Animal. They're both going to be burnt to a crisp. Rival with a double kill. And now definitely Council. They've lost the lead they had.
Yeah, Council. They're on the back foot now. Even though the net worth graph says a different story, all the net worth is in your Nature's Prophet. And when your Nature's Prophet is dead, you're essentially 20k net worth down. I mean, you have the Sight of Vice, you have the BKB and the Orchid and all these items, but
well, AD are just going to move into the high ground. They got Susma in the Bramble Maze. Force Staffs will push him around. Rival pushing out top. Smoke still has that Chronosphere if need be. Lost Rider goes in with a Burrow Strike. Stolen by the Rubik. Smoke needs to be careful. He's hexed. He's silenced. Might end up falling. Pops the BKB and time walks the hell out of there. Could look to go back in, but he isn't going to bother.
Yeah, he's just going to time walk away for now.
40 minutes. Rubik hasn't found a single support item.
I don't know, man. He's living the solo life. No farm, nothing. He could have actually gotten some farm. There are abilities that allow him to farm in the opponent team. There's a Splinter Blast, Burrow Strike as well. So he can clear creep waves all by himself, but...
He did steal the Splinter Blast at one point. But yeah, hasn't been doing too well in the farm department.
Let's pick up the pace, Jen.
I think you should try and save up for something like a Concept at this point.
On the Rubik?
Yeah, on the Rubik. I mean, sure, Epicenter still kills you, but hey, if they come in that Hex and another Orchid, at least you know
I think Glimmer Cape.
Glimmer Cape is
I mean,
not a bad
he's
idea,
going to need it. He's going to need it for the Void as well.
Not too sure about that, but for now, not gonna go with his team. He's just gonna stay mid and make sure the creepy doesn't push in. Look at him, he's just so afraid of the Nature's Prophet. But now with Roshan, he should be knowing exactly where Jin is. Deaths? He has a double damage rune. If they have a smoke, they need to pop it now and they need to fight.
And they pop their smoke.
They're gonna do exactly that.
Cataclysm.
Cataclysm is gonna spot it out.
I think they should know that there's smoke and the Radiant will confirm it with the scan.
Yep.
Okay. Rival, he's going to try and break the smoke with that Ghost Walk. Curse Cloud on Animal. Rival pops his BKB, looks to turn, has the Cold Snap. They've got the Bedlam. They're trying to bring down the Winter Wyvern with the Shadow Realm damage. They will. They've got the AoE Deafening Blast. They're trying to control the Sand King. Smoke coming in, looks for the Chronosphere. He doesn't want to expend it because that's still got the Aegis. So Smoy with that Blade Mail not doing squat in the team fight. But Jin on the side did manage to snipe down the Invoker. The Terrorize will push back Susmoy. Smoke still holding on to that Chronosphere. He's got that Butterfly and he commits it. It's a huge chronosphere. It's going to catch Deaths. The Sprout trying to keep Deaths alive but will not succeed. Zeus even chipping in with that Shadow Realm damage. So they brought down the Gyrocopter. They did lose
Jin
the
going
Invoker, but
forward.
Jin is going forward. He's got the Hex like you mentioned. He's controlling Smoke with the Bottle Strike. They'll bring down the Void. That's 99 seconds without him, but he has got buyback. The Council. They've got to march down a lane.
I mean, Void, he may have buyback, but he does not have Chronosphere. Council, they should take note of this and just try to push high ground.
Oh, Jin. Okay. ETB top. I think that's okay. That's understandable.
I mean, he doesn't want the lane to push and he doesn't want to lose
Yeah,
or have to TP back and
you
defend.
want to
He
push
just
both
wants to go.
lanes.
Yep. I mean, this is the only way they can really get any racks because now you're forcing the lineup of AD to split up
Yeah,
and address the split push.
but if this creep wave dies, it's
Viper
gonna.
doesn't hit tower. Yeah, if this creep wave dies, he's gonna be in a bunch of trouble.
Yeah, so the creep wave top is being dealt with. Kalnak is gonna clean that up.
I mean, Jin, he's going for bounty runs at the moment instead of going bot and pushing with his team for some reason.
Oh, he TP'd bottom. Lost Rider tries to go in. The telekinesis is there. Stolen Bottle Strike by Blue Frog. Yet to use it. Terrorize being challenged. Kalnak taking a whole lot of damage, but barely ends up surviving. The Spirit Vessel keeps him healthy.
Yeah, Viper, he's trying to deal damage to the tower, but just can't manage to do so.
I
He
mean,
has no way of dealing right click damage to the tower.
Tornado,
and now
EMP,
Viper's
they've got
back.
the ice wall, but the epicenter, it comes through, does a bit, but not enough. The Bedlam doing a fair amount of work. He'll throw one last Bottle Strike before he falls, bringing down the Rubik with him, the Meteor and the Deafening Blast, trying to control this Viper who's got a Glimmer Cape and a BKB, keep him alive. Animal blinks in, goes AFK, throws out the Winter's Curse. Zeus pounding away on Kalnak. Kalnak might end up falling. He accepts his fate, pops his BKB, goes in with a hook shot, tries to man up. The cogs are decent. The Cataclysm is there with the Shadow Realm damage. They'll bring down Jin to the Chronosphere. It's got the Winter Wyvern. It's got Deaths. Smoke gets himself a double kill, and Council, despite winning a team fight, failed to convert it into an objective. Jesus.
Man, that team fight was crazy. Cataclysm managed to hit 2 heroes, finally, so late into the game. Another thing that happened there was that Viper didn't pop his BKB. He ended up eating the Meteor and the Deafening Blast, so that took away half his HP. Then he decided to pop the BKB, and half the spells had already lost their effectiveness, and just ended up falling to the right clicks of Invoker with the Alacrity. The Viper, he needs to up his game if the Council won't have any shot at taking this game. Oh, but look at Jin.
I think Smoke heard the sound of his Shadow Blade. I'm not sure.
His
I-
spidey senses were tingling.
I think Jin Shadow Bladed somewhere near him. I'm not sure. But yeah, ADE, they're marching down mid. It's only Jin alive. It's only Viper with buyback. Winter Wyvern and Sand King are respawning quickly, but it's 2 catapults with Alacrity upon one of them. This tier 3 is gonna melt. Jin
Yeah.
trying his best,
It's not a
pops the
catapult anymore,
Linkins.
it's a trebuchet.
Bedlam coming through, forcing out the BKB on the Nature's Prophet. Lost Rider goes in with the Bottle Strike. Not onto anything, and there's the Bramble Maze. Just controls Lost Rider, keeps him away from the fight. Smoke works on the melee barracks, the Glyph, giving Council a little bit of time.
Yeah, that Hex was from the Dark Willow. The Dark Willow has a Hex of her own.
Okay. Where the hell did she find this farm? Wait, I have
90 gold per minute.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It does add up.
Yep. All
It's-
that gold, 47 minutes in. I mean, I would be surprised if she didn't have a Scythe of Ice at this point.
But yeah, honestly, right now, in these fights, she's doing a lot more than, say, the Viper.
Of course, I mean, even a creep is gonna be doing more at a Viper at this point. At least creep disables backdoor
It's-
protection. Viper can't do
It's
that.
not that Viper's soaking up a lot of damage. He's trying to, but... I mean,
Viper's job is not to soak up damage in this fight. It's just to make the life of Kalnak, the life of the Faceless Void, that Smoke, and Blue Frog a lot harder.
okay.
Just needs to throw Nether Toxin, kill somebody before the fight starts, make sure they can't get their spells off.
Wait. How does he kill somebody before the fight starts? I mean, they're going to try and bring down Rival up top. But Susmoy, Hexed, will watch as both Zeus and Rival run away.
He
Yeah.
can kill supports like Rubik and Clockwork.
I mean, the council are doing that, but killing Rubik makes no difference, honestly. Because Rubik isn't doing anything in these fights. I think Kalnaik does his bit and then ends up dying. I think I honestly feel that if we look at the scorecard post game, you will see that the Rubik has bought all the wards here. I don't think Kalnaik has bought a single ward. That
Before
shoot.
we talk about any sort of scorecard, let's just look at the net worth. Jin is leading the charge with 31k net worth, but then it's the three heroes of ATE Gaming.
Oh yeah.
The three cores. And then it's the cores of Council. That's the Kaido and the Viper. And this is an off-lane Nature's Prophet. This is not a safe lane Nature's Prophet. It's not a mid Nature's Prophet. In this Nature's Prophet, he went to the off-lane, zoned the Void out, made sure he didn't get a lot of farm, and managed to find farm himself as well. Has a Moonshot consumed, for God's sake. This man is crazy farmed.
I mean, but that individual play really amounts to nothing. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, this goes on to show that Dota is indeed a team game, and the better team will always win over the better individual players.
Yeah. Is he looking to snipe the Willow? Ah, Willow!
Oh, Willow.
Zeus
Quick
was
on the
quicker with the Hex. I thought Jin would Hex her first.
I thought so too, but looks like he ran out of range on the Willow. The Willow moves quite fast at this point, I think. 430 move speed, if I'm correct. Yep. 435 with the boots of travel and yields.
Anyway, Smoke on the hunt with that Shadow Blade. Wouldn't want to expend the chrono for just the Winter Wyvern, but won't even see Animal. Rival might though. Zeus blinks forward, has the Hex. I hear a hook shot on the side, doesn't quite connect on anything, but they're going to bring down the Winter Wyvern. And Zeus, well, he still got his ultimate. 1984 damage on a 25-second cooldown. A 30-second cooldown. And that's only one of your ultimates. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yep, totally balanced. Just like Monkey King on release.
Yep. I actually saw that death summary then. Zeus did 1984 damage. And I think he's got Nature's Prophet. Oh, he has detection.
BKB,
Kalnaik whiffed.
Kalnaik!
Don't worry, Kalnaik.
No.
I didn't catch that on camera. I didn't. I heard it though. And I think the crowd heard it as well.
Indeed. Kalnaik, he's not gonna be too happy with himself. I think he's not used to playing Clockwork, but that could be an explanation of why he's not been landing those spells. I mean, I do remember seeing him play all those greedy faceless voids and sort of off-lane and carry-based heroes, but never saw him playing a position for Clockwork.
Nature's Prophet has a Skull Basher. Going for the Abyssal.
Oh boy.
Do ranged heroes bash?
Yeah, they do, but it's just a lower chance.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Dark Willow, she's managed to find Jin once again with the cold snap. She doesn't have a BKB and nullified up as well. He's gonna end up falling.
Yeah.
120
Oh,
seconds
they've
now,
got
buyback.
Susboy with the hook shot. Viper controlled with the Split Vessel will end up falling. Lost Rider gets up the epicenter, but the Winter's Curse is there negating some of the damage. Smoke though will end up killing his own teammate. Zeus, he's still chasing forward. He sees Animal, but Animal quick on the fingers will manage to blink away. Lost Rider will also end up surviving, but I hear another X. They've got Animal. He's got the Glimmer Cape, but they've got Detection, it seems. They've got the Bramble Mace. Animal caught in it. Will end up falling. Smoke dominating. 76 seconds until the Winter Wyvern respawns. A buyback coming out from the Viper. ATE. They are back in this game and they are fighting.
They should know that Furion has no buyback. They can just go and take cracks at this point.
They should. I'd like to see quick Burst Strike coming out from Lost Rider. Still looks to try and fire it, but he's going to end up falling. The Nullifier thrown out. Deaths pops his BKB, but he's caught in the Chronosphere. The Shiver's Guard is there. The damage from the Void and the Invoker just too much, and they'll move on for Susma at last. The buyback coming out from the Gyrocopter. Smoke pops his BKB, looks to run the Terrorize, pushing back the Viper. The Burst Strike is there. Lost Rider trying his best to hold on to this game. Blue Frog hits his first spell of the goddamn freaking game. A Burst Strike on to 2, and with the AoE Deafening Blast, he'll bring down the Sand King. That's a dieback on the Sand King, and Smoke is chasing for more. They've got the Nullify, they've got the Hex, they'll bring down the Gyrocopter. So Smoy all by himself, standing next to his barracks, will end up falling. Y1 buys back, but what can a Y1 do? Not really too much is the answer, as the council, they've finally expended their buybacks. They've finally lost the laner barracks, the first laner barracks to fall in this game, 52 minutes in.
They should try and end here, AT. They know that they have no buyback. Shin is literally the only hope remaining for the council right now. And they have 4 heroes still up, so they can deal with Shin.
Okay, they're going to deal with Animal.
Okay, Animal. He has a death wish. And he's gonna find his death wish as he ends up falling.
I think the plan was to try and buy time. But time is the one thing that council don't have. They're thrown under siege. Jin TP's in, pops his BKB. He's trying to deal with Smoke. With the Hex in the arcade, he does a fair amount of damage. But it's not going to be enough.
GG, well played is gonna be called.
No doubt about it. AD were the better side today, as council did find a fair advantage early on, but couldn't capitalize on it.
Indeed. I think it all can be narrowed down to them not really pushing when the advantage was there. I think if they grouped up together and took the opportunities that they got them, especially those first 30 minutes of the game, they just go high ground and just try to